Hey everyone, this is Ashley Bocasmar, and I wanted to help you guys a little bit, some of my coworkers from Pasco County Schools, with our transition to digital learning. As many of you know, I've been an online teacher for Pasco eSchool for about 7 years now, and one of the things that I've been hearing a lot as we're sitting through trainings and helping you guys prepare for this transition to digital learning is lots of concerns about schedules. And so one of the most crucial things during this transition time for you is going to be making sure that you maintain a work-life balance. As a first-year Pasco eSchool teacher when I started, that was probably one of the hardest things for me. If you allow it, work can become a 12-hour day without you even realizing it, because the constant ping of emails, the constant phone ringing, the text message dings, they can pull you in. And so it's super important that you set yourself up for success by creating a schedule that allows you to maintain that balance. And I'm going to share a couple of ideas with you today. And if you have any questions about anything I share, please feel free to reach out to me. We at Pasco eSchool are here to help you, and if there's any questions I individually can answer for you, definitely let me know. I want to start out with one of the most important things, and that is a saying that I love, and it says that you can never cross the ocean unless you're willing to lose sight of the shore. And when I think about that saying right now, with everything we're going through, it is so true. There is so much unknown in what we're about to embark on. Even for us as Pasco eSchool teachers, we will now be balancing working from home with our kiddos being home. And I myself have 3 of them, 6th grade, 4th grade, and 3 years old. And so there is some anxiety in all of us, but I think that we are teachers, and we are constantly faced with challenges, and we always rise to the occasion, and I have no doubt that we will do that this time as well, and do what's best for our students as well as our families. And so I want to start out with a schedule that I have developed for myself. Now, there are 3 things that we heard in the training today that we should be focusing on as we start this week. And the 3 things that they really want us to focus on are grading and providing specific feedback for students within 48 hours of their submission. Of course, weekends don't count, so if they submit on Friday, you wouldn't be grading that stuff till Monday. They want to make sure that we are replying to emails, possibly phone calls from our students and parents within 24 hours. Again, weekends don't matter. So if they call you on Friday and you don't get back to them, you just get back to them on Monday. And then also, probably the biggest thing right now are the discussion posts, and having responses within an hour between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. And no, that doesn't mean you're going to have to work an 8-hour day, or a 12-hour day. It means that you're going to work with your team to make sure that those hours are covered. As a teacher, your responsibility is still 7.5 hours a day. So nobody is asking you to work 8 to 8. And so one of the things that you saw in your training was this instructional scheduling template. And many of you, I know, will remember this because I've heard a lot of panics when people saw this, and it's okay. So I want to take a second to explain it to you, because I did work through it last night just to try to help out my assigned school, to give them an idea of what this might look like. When we talk about the instructional scheduling, and specifically this document, when you're talking about scheduling as a team, what we're focused on are those 3 main things: messages, assignments, and discussions. And so I'm going to start with discussions, because that's the thing that has the most questions brewing right now. Is okay, so discussions have to be covered from 8 to 8, but I only work 7.5 hours a day, so how am I going to cover discussions from 8 to 8? Well, as you learned in the training, you have a team of teachers that is in the same shell in most instances that are going to be monitoring that course shell. And so you can take the number of people on your team. For this example, I have a team of 6 fourth grade teachers. And so because there are 6 of them, then what that means is that each of them needs to monitor that discussion for 2 hours a day. They might decide that the same person is going to monitor it every 2 hours all week. In this example, I have it on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It follows the same schedule of monitoring. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it follows a different schedule of monitoring. And I tend to have 2 sets of schedules. I have my Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule and my Tuesday, Thursday schedule. And the reason that I have those set schedules is because that allows for my family to know what my work days look like. So for me, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I work at night. I have a lot of seniors in my class that work in the afternoon, and they need to call me at night after school between, 5 and 8 o'clock. So my kids and my husband know that, dinner on Tuesday and Thursday night is going to be out of the crock pot or out of the freezer, right? So it creates structure not only for my work life, but also for my home life. And so I have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, and then I have a Tuesday, Thursday schedule. And so I stick to those to the best of my ability. So when I was designing this template, that was automatically what I went to because that's what I am most familiar with. You may find that you have teachers on your team that want the same schedule every day. And if that's so, that's great. You might find you have teachers that are night owls that want to cover the discussion from 6 to 8 p.m. every night because that's when their house is quiet or when they are most productive in the evening. And so those are conversations that this document is meant to spark. This is not the only way to schedule. This was just given as an example, and so I wanted to make sure I addressed it today. I'm going to give you some other examples here in a few minutes, but so that's one way of setting up your discussion schedule. Now, for grading, you do have to return all assignments within 48 hours, and so the way that I have designed my template, just from a survey that we took, it looks like the average grading is that normal online teachers spend grading is about 2 to 3 hours a day. And so what I've done is I've given each teacher a 2-hour block of time twice a week to grade. So that means that they're co-grading. That means when they log in to grade, they're not picking out their students' work and grading just their students' work. They're grading everything that is in the grading queue. So Miss B would grade on Monday mornings and Thursday mornings. And then you have Miss G. She's going to grade mid-morning on Mondays and Thursdays. And then you've got Miss M and Miss L. They're going to grade on Wednesday mornings, and then they're going to grade on Friday nights. Friday evening is a great time to grade because that allows you to clear the grading before the weekend, so you catch any of those last-minute assignments that are turned in before the weekend so that those kids get timely feedback and they don't have to wait till Monday. You can, again, this is something you can discuss with your team. You and your team might decide, you know what, we're going to each grade our own kids. So every other day, we're each going to log in and we're going to clear the grading for our students. And that's absolutely fine. Chunking is the key word online. When you chunk time to do a specific task and don't allow yourself to get distracted by the dishes in the kitchen sink, the laundry going off, the email pinging, the text messages dinging, you are more productive. And so really chunking time to complete specific tasks is a great way of work that I have found online, and that has helped me maintain work-life balance. The next thing is messages. Now, messages can include phone calls you want to make, emails you want to send, emails you need to return, text messages you need to return, phone call, voicemails you've received that you need to return, anything like that. And you want to make sure that you have specific times in your day set aside to do those things. I typically do those things when my child is napping, so mid-afternoon, or if my child is busy doing something quietly, I might steal an hour mid-morning to try to call my kiddos. But really, the most important thing for messages is that they know you're there. So you want to respond within that 24-hour time frame so that they don't feel like they're hanging or they're out there on their own. And, you know, for me, I give my kids kind of what I call open office hours. I say, hey, I'm going to be available from 10 to 1 on Tuesday and Thursday. So if you need something, that's a great time to call me, where I'm going to be sitting by my phone and I'm ready to answer your questions. And of course, I can grade while I'm waiting for them to call, or do my outgoing calls while I'm waiting for them. But giving them the expectation, letting them know that you're available, that's what we want to communicate with these messages, so they don't feel like they're out there on their own. So that's a little bit about this document that I wanted to show you guys. One other thing I want to show you is kind of the schedule I follow. Now, I want to preface this by saying you are not required to do all the things that I am required to do, because we are teaching in different capacities. So my expectations are a little bit different than you all's. But I show you this because I want you to understand that sometimes you just need a daily list. And so a lot of days for me coming up, my anticipation is that I'm going to have my daily list of things I want to accomplish on Monday, and that list is probably not going to get accomplished near as fast with 3 kids home as it did before, right? And that's the reality. But I know that if I accomplish this little chunk of tasks every day, that by the end of the week, I'm going to have accomplished everything I've wanted to get done. And so this is kind of how I organize my day, and how I make sure that I accomplish all of the required tasks, and some that aren't required, some that I like to do, like post my kids' birthdays and wish them a happy birthday, those types of things. But you having a schedule is the most important thing that's going to save your sanity during this time of transition, working with kids home, working from home. And I am here to help. So if there's any questions you have, even after you get through the first week, if you want to call me and be like in tears and I can't do this and help me, reach out to me. I'm here to help you. I'm your colleague. I'm your friend. I can be a mentor during this time if there's anything you need. So I hope this video helps you a little bit to understand a little bit better about what scheduling may or may not look like for you. And it's okay to change your schedule. Remember, your schedule is a plan, but the plan takes 2 weeks to see if it works or not. So I would caution you on throwing a plan out the window after week 1, because routines take 2 weeks to establish, and it's going to take 2 weeks for your kiddos, if you have children at home, to establish their routine. So find a plan, stick with it, and make minor tweaks here and there from maybe what works or doesn't work. But the most important thing I cannot stress to you guys enough is to take care of yourself. Okay? The messages will always be there. The text messages will always be there. The phone will always be ringing. Sometimes you just have to shut that computer down, go eat some lunch, go for a bike ride with your kids. Make sure that you're taking time for yourself and for your family, because you're only required to work 7.5 hours a day. Don't get pulled in to the sitting in front of the computer all day, every day. Okay? Thanks so much for listening, guys, and I hope you found this helpful.